of Walvis Bay, where the Walviches were in
penalty was the decider.
And there was the almost moment for Oliver Kurz on his debut for that interception. And there is their number 10, Uganda. They played a good game, John. Yasin Wasingwa.
Him and his scrum-off partner, they both had excellent matches. Unfortunately, that there has to be a winner, but you know, they pushed and did their best. Fortunately, ball not going through the posts.
This is the build-up to that second Janku Burger try.
Came through at speed, and that was it. Nobody saw him. Was even too fast for the cameraman. He just came through and flashed through everybody and dotted down. Coming through at speed, can't beat that. Simple conversion.
And that was the halftime score for Namibia leading up. And Uganda came back guns blazing in the second half, John.
Absolutely, you can't fault them. Penalty kick with the wind. That was 12-6, and then they popped up with a lovely try.
And there's the try by Uganda.
Everybody celebrating before the referee puts his hand up and blows the whistle, but they were confident, they knew it.
They were certain about their try. And here's the starman, Lucas Walker.
Liam Walker.
Liam Walker, he was good. He averaged 9 points coming from the bench, John.
Absolutely, so a vital man. But now, who in future, who do you start? Do you start Liam Walker, or do you keep with your starting 15? You know,
I think that's a thing. Zane Kirshner and his team needs to discuss looking, because obviously he made sure of the kicks when he had to put on points on the board, and that's where Yasin Waswa lacked. With vital
accuracy.
Moments,
yeah,
vital moments. He had 5 conversions. He only did 2.
Yep, and then the Namibians celebrating. So they went 1 point ahead with the conversion, and 2 points, 3 points ahead. It was exciting times. And a clearance kick, but Namibia managed to retain control.
That was the incident where he took the player out of the air, where he got the yellow card. Aaron and replacement scrum of Aaron Oregod, who finished this game with a yellow card.
Liam Walker with his attempt. Unfortunately, his long-range attempt that just failed to go over the crossbar. But a resurgent Namibian scrum going forward, but try eventually held up.
And here's the vital moment, Danko Burger, with the last dying moments of the game.
No pressure. And everybody happy.
Okay, from myself, Bjorn and John, it was a pleasure bringing you the game. Goodbye and until next time.
Yep, a goodbye for me, John Slubber. Hope you enjoyed the entertainment.
That's a wrap.
Guests
So we're joined by Baron. He is the captain of the Uganda team. Look, you guys came in as underdogs into this game, and I think you guys surprised a lot of people with how you played today. How proud are you of your team, and where do you think things could have gone a little bit different for you guys?
First of all, let me congratulate the Namibia rugby team for giving us that contest. But I'm happy for the boys, Ugandan boys, because we're trying to put things together. and the results really show that we are almost there. We haven't yet polished everything, but we are almost there. Going back home, we shall review the video and see where we went wrong. But like you said, we came as underdogs, but it was a good show for us and a good contest for us, which is a plus for us.
In the Africa Cup, you guys are in a tough group, facing the likes of Zimbabwe, Kenya in the same group. But I'm sure this should be like a confidence booster for you guys, because you guys did come from the back, came back into the game, played really well. So what are a few of the positives that you can take from the game?
Yeah, it was like I said earlier on, it was a tight contest, and we expected the physicality, and we brought up the physicality. At the end of the day, we fell short by 3 points, but good one for the boys. Like I said, we are going to go back, review the video, see where we went wrong, then polish on that as we get ready for Rugby World Cup qualifiers. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time and good luck with the Africa Cup tournament.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was indeed an important one there. Congratulations to the teams that managed to do well there. Indeed, a special occasion, of course, for the Namibian team competing in Walvis Bay. We also have that news for you from Walvis Bay, from the coastal town. Definitely, this one's from Erongo, where there was a run taking place. And now we have more for you on that one.
Okay, Daniel, tell us what's happening here today.
So today we have the Lagoon Dream Run, and it's in Walvis Bay. So this is the first Team Flippy event in Walvis Bay, running event. We have 2 kilometer runners, we have 5 kilometer runners, 10 kilometers and 21. And it's slightly east windish. It's actually not too hot and not too windy. So it's going to be a nice challenge because it's going to be a bit dry, but I think everybody's going to have a rewarding experience after the race, and we're just going to have a lot of fun.
We're talking about how many people participating.
So it's actually crazy. The last event 1 month ago, we had around 140, 150, 160, and we doubled it for this event. So we have around almost over 300 participants for this one. So
wow.
The Walvis community is really supporting the Team Flippy, and I think everybody is starting to just join us on this journey, and it's amazing to see.
You made reference to last week or last month's event, and now we have this event. Just quickly explain to us what is this all about?
So we have this event that is sponsored by Diofarm and Radio Electric, and it's basically a series of running events. So last month we had our first event with these 2 companies that they love to be involved with the sport, so we love to have them on board. Super friendly, we're really good relationship with them, and so this is the second series of the event.
Okay.
And yeah.
And what will be the outcome of it all?
So it's basically, we want to try to promote sports in Namibia. A lot of people are having fun. It's more of a fun event.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's prizes, we have medals, we have trophies for companies.
Mm-hmm.
So if companies take part, they can write under their company and they can earn points for their company. And we also have schools participating, so it's just the whole community coming together.
And here we have it at the lagoon. I mean, beautiful site. Why specifically here? Is it just because of the amazing location?
We also want to make things different. So we want to make it a tour, have different venues, have different people, have different challenges. So because in real life we have the same challenges and we have to adapt. So I think this is the best venue we had so far, and I'm loving it really. And I think the participants are really excited and happy as well.
Daniel, thanks man. We look forward to that.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Cool.
That was the Scenic Lagoon run there. Now, this is sad news for football in general, because this team, Black Africa, has been in it for a while. Relegated last season to the first division, and now they have been relegated from the Southern Stream first division, the most successful club in Namibia on the 2026 season. They defeated Ramblers 2-1 in the final game, but it wasn't enough as Oranje won 4-1 against Date 11 FC. Now we look at some of the records of Black Africa. They won the Namibia Premier League during the 2010-2011 season, and then followed that season again, winning it to the 2011-2012 season, and 2012-2013 season, 2013-2014 season. Those were consecutive victories, and then once again they won it in the 2018-2019 season. Black Africa there, they played in the first division in the 2023-24 season, relegated now to the first division in the to the second division in the 2024-25 season. Black Africa FC also holds the record of the most Namibia Premier League titles with 10 league championships to their name. However, the club has experienced a dramatic fall from grace in recent seasons, now facing life in the second division of the Namibian football next season. Speaking of new beginnings as well, we have to look now at Bluebirds, the team from the coast. They have been promoted to the Premier League. That's indeed a special occasion from them. Bluebirds, the Walvis Bay side, have been promoted as after winning the Southern Stream First Division in the 2025-24 season. They edged out their closest rivals, 11 Arrows FC, in that big one. We know that they have been playing in the 2023-24 season in the second division. 2024-25 they were promoted to the first division, and now the 2025-26 season promoted to the Premier League. What a journey it has been from them there, indeed a special occasion for them. And now we look at the COSAFA results. Of course, South Africa through to the finals after defeating the Comoros by 3-1. In that one, the goals were scored by Boitumelo Radiopane in the 12th minute, while Kamalo Sebelele scored in the 18th minute. Ibrahim Madi scored the goal for Comoros. Kamalo Sebelele was on record. That's with he scored at least 2 goals in that match. And then Angolans also coming off a victory. They are in the finals. Angola defeated Madagascar 4-1 in that important clash. Alberto Campos Miguel scored the first goal, while Antonio Cabaza Salvador scored the second goal in the 9th minute. Laurindo Maria Aurelio scored 2 goals, one in the 19th minute there. It was indeed a penalty, so the full-time scores was 4-1 in favor of, that is, Angola. So they will meet South Africa in that one. That will be later on in the Sunday drop. We also have some cricket news for you there. A 5-wicket victory. The Proteas men have conquered the Test arena, winning the ICC World Test Championship 2025 final against Australia at the iconic Lord's Cricket Ground. Undeniable, unstoppable, unrelenting. The history has been made from this cricket team that definitely pushed for more. They have been victorious in that one. Well, now up to some international news as well. This one is from our own Ariana Murray van der Walt, who shares some of the latest in Formula One. Let's hear from her.
Formula One is racing in Montreal, and there is so much to discuss that there is not even time to discuss Montreal. So there were rumors a while ago that Christian Horner might be sacked from Red Bull as their team principal. These rumors even went so far as to suggest that he might be leaving for Alpine soon, where Oliver Oakes has recently resigned as team principal. Now, the question is, why would he? Why would he? He's been with Red Bull since Red Bull became Red Bull. He's seen so many highs and lows with this team. He's worked with fantastic drivers. So unless Red Bull casts him out and tells him to go, I don't think it's very likely that he would leave on his own to go to a team like Alpine. Other Red Bull rumors are that Max Verstappen is in talks with 4 other teams. Obviously, these are top teams. These are the McLarens and the Mercedes of the world. And again, before we lose our heads about that, there's a real chance he's just talking. I think any team who can get an opportunity to discuss with Max Verstappen would be doing it and should be doing it. And I think Max Verstappen should be entertaining that. Not just because he's trying to see whether the grass is greener on the other side, but because it genuinely ups his market value. It gives him leverage in discussions with Red Bull. So he could then approach Red Bull and say, listen, Mercedes is offering me 10 million a year more than you. What are you going to do about it? You know, I think if one of those top teams is going to offer Max Verstappen a seat, you know, they'd be idiots not to do it. They'd be idiots to hold on to their driver pairings. But I think very strong driver pairings as it is. And there's just so many other factors that are attached to a driver. One of them being marketing. We saw this with Lewis Hamilton when he left Mercedes. There were so many sponsors who left Mercedes, and some of them even left Formula One as a whole, because they wanted to be tied to Lewis Hamilton, the team that Lewis Hamilton drives for. There are a lot of Mercedes sponsors who then started sponsoring Lewis as an athlete because they wanted to be attached to the Lewis Hamilton name, not necessarily the Mercedes name. You know, people like Lando Norris especially are very good examples of this, where yes, he's a good racing driver, of course he is, but he has personal sponsors. He is sponsored by energy drink companies and so on and so forth. There are sponsors who are very clearly within the McLaren ecosystem because they want to be attached to a Lando Norris-esque brand, and they want to be attached to a brand that in some way embodies Lando Norris. And what better way to embody Lando Norris than to have Lando Norris be one of the two faces of your team, you know? So I think teams would be stupid if they weren't talking to Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen would be stupid if he wasn't talking to teams, even if it is just to give him leverage in negotiations with his current team. Then in other news, also Red Bull news, Arvind Lindblad, the F2 driver, has received his super license. So that means that he will likely be partaking in a couple of practice sessions for Red Bull soon. It might not mean anything, but it probably does. And I think Arvind Lindblad, what sets him apart from the other, and this is going to sound terrible, what sets him apart from the other drivers that Red Bull have had in the ecosystem so far is that Arvind Lindblad, quite frankly, knows how to come second and third and fourth. And I don't mean that to sound, you know, nasty. I think in the current Red Bull ecosystem, what's breaking a lot of their drivers is not only the comparison to Max Verstappen, but that Red Bull has a history of getting people who have done extremely well, and then they put them in a Red Bull seat, and suddenly these kids are ending 15th, 18th, 20th in the lineup, and even DNFing a couple of races. And I think that's mentally hard to deal with, that switch. So I think it's very, very good that they have somebody like Arvind Lindblad who has the mentality to be able to deal with not necessarily being number one from day one. Then Formula One has also announced their 2026 calendar, which includes 2 races in Spain, 1 in Barcelona. Unfortunately, very fabled, very beloved Imola, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, is not on the calendar for next year. And I hope, as much as I love a street track for high-speed, tight, winding roads, I hope that this is not the slow but sure death of a circuit track. But that remains to be seen.
Thank you so much, Ariana Marie, for your expertise on Formula One. We hope to have you back in studio one day so we discuss like we did. Now we move beyond our borders, and this is the Sunday drop. There are some Sunday fixtures. The netball Namibia has traveled, the national team has traveled all the way to the United Arab Emirates, where they will be competing in that tournament there, the United Arab Emirates Cup. The Desert Jewels, the Dep Marine Desert Jewels, of course, will be in action. And then this tournament, the doors open tomorrow, Sunday the 15th, that is at 10 a.m. And then 11 a.m. will be the opening ceremony. And then United Arab Emirates, UAE faces United States of America in that one at 1 p.m. and then 3:30 p.m. Republic of Ireland will face Singapore in that match as well, and then it will be Namibia versus Kenya. They will play at 6 p.m. The Desert Jewels will definitely want to open their campaign against their fellow Africans with a victory there. And then we move on to Monday, the 16th of June, where doors open at 12 p.m. and then 1 p.m. Republic of Ireland faces the United States of America, and then 3:30 p.m. we have Singapore versus Kenya. 6 p.m. United Arab Emirates, the host, battles against Namibia. And then on to Tuesday, there you have 12 p.m. doors open for the tournament there, and then 1 p.m. Kenya versus the United States of America, before Singapore plays the Desert Jewels at 3:30 p.m. 6 p.m. will be the host, United Arab Emirates versus the Republic of Ireland. Sunday also plays host to an important clash between South Africa and Angola. It will be the COSAFA Cup final at 1500 hours. Definitely not one to be missed. Remember, Angola are the defending champions. They won the competition, of course, but now they will be up against the host, South Africa. Both teams reaching the final following impressive victories in the semi-finals. Remember that Namibia also competed in this competition. However, they failed to make it out of the group stages after only finishing second with 5 points. Angola, who was part of Namibia's group and now eventually qualified to the final, finished top of that group after an impressive run of form. So this will be the big one in South Africa at the Free State Stadium. It is indeed a free entry for those that find themselves on that side of the capital, of course. So it is going to be an important one for the fans to be watching. We also have some Premier League before now we conclude. Definitely the Namibia Premiership is coming to an end today, and there is no way we could have just gone without mentioning that as well. If you look at the table right now, currently, of course, African Stars and Young African, the two teams that will be finishing top, are both that is in action at the Independence Stadium. That match was delayed due to the rain, but they will be in action, and they are in action. And at halftime, Young African was leading 2-1 against African Stars. Of course, we will have those results updated on our Facebook pages as African Stars will be crowned today. And now look at the teams. I just want to go down the table, the teams that have already been relegated as the season's finale. Now we look at the young Brazilians. They went home with 23 points, while Blue Boys were also relegated with 22 points, as well as the team from Rundu, Tops, also relegated with 10 points. And we also mentioned already that the likes of Black Africa, former league champions, were also relegated to the second division. They were not part of this, and their hope of returning to the Premiership have been dashed. They have a long way to go. If you look at mid-table there, nothing will change there. Julinho Sporting also remains and finished the season in that position as well. Quickly slide back to the top there so we can see some of the teams that will be impressed on how they finished this season. Of course, the likes of Mighty Gunners finishing 5th. Unam FC were also in action against Bucks Buccaneers today, one of the final matches. I mean, if you look at that also, Nothing will change from that. There won't be any movement, as well as UNAM will remain in that position. They will finish in that position regardless of the result today. We have Ongos FC, a team that has invested a lot, and they complete their season at 13th position with 50 points. The team also scored 36 and conceding 22 goals in that season. Commerce Nampo FC, last season they did really well, and I would say they also did well this time around, finishing of course in third position with 51 points. And I think that is an incredible journey in the Premiership. It has been indeed an incredible journey in the Premiership for all the teams that participated in that one. Of course, we are hoping to see which team will be able to pipe African Stars at the post next time around, because the team has won now on consecutive seasons. Now, that is all we had for you today. Do catch the Sport Rep Show on Monday. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, it is goodbye.